If I told you now that I had 1 gram of cocaine in my pocket, you would not arrest me?
No.
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 Ah, Portugal. Maybe the only place on earth where you can rock up at a cop shop, tell them you have a pocket full of smack and not get arrested.
A polícia em ter uma relação muito mais humanizada com os consumidores. Ou seja, a ideia é deixarmos de ter uma polícia eminentemente legal para termos uma polícia também preocupada com a pessoa em si.
Is it true that no one has been arrested for drug possession in the last 17 years in Portugal? Not one person?
Não.
Not one?
Não. Todas as pessoas que sejam encontradas na posse de quantidades inferiores.
So right now, if I had under 2 grams of coke, 25 grams of pot and 1 gram of MDMA or heroin, I could feasibly walk straight out of this cop shop. Sans drugs, of course. Still, how is that even a thing?
Well, in 2001, Portugal decriminalised drugs.
Meaning you're allowed to possess a small amount of any illicit substance without getting arrested. Why?
Quick history lesson. For decades, Portugal was a closed-off Catholic country run by a dictator.
I mean, Coca-Cola was banned and you needed a license to own a cigarette lighter. Then in 1974, there was a revolution, and with it came an explosion of freedom. And with that came drugs. But Portugal just wasn't equipped to deal with it. And that's when shit got real. By the 1990s, 1% of the Portuguese population was addicted to heroin. As in, 1 in every 100 people had a heroin addiction. Rates of AIDS infections among drug addicts were higher than anywhere else in the EU. Now, drug use among young people is down, and drug-induced deaths are 4 times lower than the European average. AIDS infections and overdoses among addicts are now almost non-existent.
2 syringes, 2 spoons, citric acid, clean water.
This injection kit is just one of the items provided by this drug outreach unit. The other is methadone. 55-year-old Mario took up heroin at the age of 13, at a time when the drug was everywhere.
It was a massive problem. Every family knows someone that was taking heroin. It was awful because people were taking drugs in the streets, dying on the streets, infecting others, sharing needles. And then the government, they think that there's something to do about it.
Do you think that that problem has been addressed or has been tackled?
Sure, yes.
Hugo says decriminalisation has made it easier for services like this to exist.
In the past, he tried to make a detox, but it didn't work. Only with methadone, he gets stable.
Where do you think that you would be without this methadone program?
Já estava bastante.
He believes it was dead.
Já.
Dead.
Já.
These policies have made it easier for drug addicts to get the drugs that they need, but just how easy is it for everyone else to get the drugs that they want? Do you think if you wanted drugs that you could find some?
I mean, people keep offering us.
I've noticed that there's a lot of people smoking weed.
Places like this one, it's quite common.
Maybe some persons will come to you in this spot and ask you, do you want hash, do you want weed?
You wouldn't have to really try hard.
Well, people here are very relaxed talking about drugs and maybe even smoking them on camera. They also tell me that I would have absolutely no problem finding them. Weed, hash, cocaine, MDMA, whatever you want.
But before you think this is a recreational drug user's paradise, think again. A 2017 report found that young Portuguese people are smoking less pot, snorting less coke and popping less pills than those in Britain, France, the Netherlands and a bunch of other European countries. The key difference is when the Portuguese are caught with drugs, they don't end up with a criminal record.
They end up here.
Hi.
Hello.
This is the Commission for the Dissuasion of Drug Abuse.
These rooms is normally where we have the preliminary interview.
There are no courts, cops or convictions.
This looks just sort of like an office building.
Yes. Normally what we have to show here at the Dissuasion Commission is that there's not that much to show at all. It's just a normal office building.
And what happens in offices? Admin. Names are recorded, people are interviewed and folk are either free to leave or referred up.
What's the kind of general age of people that come here?
That most of the people we see are normally under the age of 25, 30 years old.
So they're actually quite young.
Yes.
What substance are they using?
Normally cannabis.
Joao, not his real name, was busted with a small amount of hash a few days ago. He's agreed to speak to us but doesn't want to show his face.
Was it stressful coming here today?
Não.
Why no?
Não, porque eles disseram que era só para vir conversar e eu não tenho problema nenhum, por isso achei que não me ia complicar.
Given it's his first offence, Joao is free to go. If, within 5 years, he's sent here again though, he risks tougher consequences such as fines.
So was this a waste of your time coming here, do you think?
Não, porque às vezes nós começamos a fumar e não sabemos as consequências e que nos faz mal. Às vezes falar com pessoas sobre o tema, acho que faz bem falar.
So do you think that after this you'll stop using hash?
I don't know.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe.
But maybe not.
There is not going to be a drug-free society anywhere, okay? We decided to assume that. What we think we should do around dissuading people is basically pass information about the risks and consequences. And we know people will probably continue to use the substance that they are using. We just hope that they do it in a more conscious and a more responsible way.
The Portugal model treats drug users the same way Australia would treat alcoholics, as a health issue, not a criminal one. So why hasn't it taken off anywhere else?
O facto de ser modelo cujo resultado aparece a longo prazo, não tem resultados imediatos. Nem sempre as sociedades estão preparadas para este tipo de resultado, para este tipo de modelo.
It's been almost 20 years since Portugal decriminalised drugs, and while some countries still see it as a radical experiment, for Portugal there's nothing radical nor experimental about it. It's simply an accepted solution to what was an unacceptable problem.